Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a special video because it's going to be a flip through of a journal I made for my very first design team project for Aftermidnightdesign. So it's Mary on Instagram. Well, it's Aftermidnightdesign, and her name is Mary. She makes beautiful digital kits that you can purchase on Etsy, and I will put the link, of course, down below, and also name all the kits that I used. So I'm just going to show you very briefly how her page looked like. So this is her Etsy shop, and she has a wide variety of kits and designs, and it's mostly kits that she's done, like she's collaged herself. So it's very like artistic, and you have all kinds of theme, and you can actually search for a specific theme or specific size of papers that you're looking for here. And well, for this particular project, I decided to use some of her Halloween kits. I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible this time. I'm just gonna say about the cover that it is completely handmade from scratch. I used some, I don't know if you can see, this is cardboard, and then I glued some, how do you call that, like some sewing pattern to create this textural effect, and then I just painted with different paints to create some variation in the color. And that's the back, and I just wanted a nice finish, so I just placed this velvet ribbon. And this is an open spine junk journal, so I followed the tutorial from Heather at Ruby and Pearl, and I will link her down below, although I'm sure you're all familiar with her. She's a great artist. And so the spine is pretty chunky. There's one signature inside and lots of goodies. Here I just made a collage. This is an antique dark lace and some upholstery fabric. I just pinned this little thing with some scraps and a very heavy vintage key. You can remove that easily, you just have to take the pin off. So, like so. There's this black velvet ribbon as a closure. And then here, this is just a hairpin. So if you've seen my video where I'm talking about Cassie's design team project, I was talking about the fact that I'm like into purchasing those very like glamorous hair pin. And so this is one of them, and I thought it just, with the gems, just went well with the dark theme. This is an antique postcard here. And this actually is, this you can remove. It's like a pin, but it was initially in like curtain. It was inside the fabric. I don't know how to explain that, but I just stained it with some alcohol and like separate the two things here and to create two pins here. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I like to reuse stuff, so I found something to do with that. And so when you open the journal up, you have, this is one of Mary's background page that I I did a lot of acrylic staining. This is black, obviously, and this is printed on coffee stain, very heavy coffee stain paper, and it's just a little bit crinkly, and you know, just a bit grungy. We have this real cabinet card. This one is from the late. Oh no, it's actually from the early 1900s. So a little bit spooky, has some stains here and there. This is a vintage doily on which I have made this little collage and hand stitching. This is actually some really, like, it's antique lace, and I have just small cutouts of these. It's really precious. And this is, well, you can remove that if you don't like it. This is just a gem that I attached to the doily. Moving on to this page, this is actually a telegram that is a morning telegram that comes from Belgium, I believe. Here's the pocket with these beautiful fabrics. I attached this piece here. We have some beads, some black beads and silver. This is a small tag. I believe, well, I think you know by now that I like to cut out illustrations from magazines. I love to repurpose magazines, and so I cut out, I don't like to fussy cut out because I'm not very patient, but I love to cut out squares and, you know, a very simple shape out of magazines when they have nice or interesting illustration. And this is actually an artwork, and I thought it was a bit, it's a bit dark, you know, and I just used some packaging to back it. This is actually a little tab you can find in one of Mary's add-on kits. Just stapled it to the card. You do have some journaling space here and there. This is an antique French document, and I just use this little pin. This is a card, a piece of blue velvet here, and this document is actually from 1850, so it's pretty old. This is just a hairpin with some vintage button. This is one of Mary's digital, so both of these actually. Here just added some sewing pattern and did some cross with, like, hand stitched some crosses here. This is part of X-ray, I'm not sure how you call that, but it's actually a friend of mine's, like, it's a friend of mine who gave me those. It's her husband's, so I thought it was kind of fun to give me that. Then we have some random book pages and illustration that I thought were nice to add in this journal. So as you can see, a little bit of spooky illustration. So that's that, and we have this vintage postcard as well, which is really dark. So that goes in here. Next we have another design paper from Mary, and this is one of her background pages, so really pretty versatile. This was to protect, you know, photographs in old albums, so that's what it is. We have a magazine page. This is actually like, these are like scripts. I thought it was interesting. We have a handmade kind of pocket. I love this rusty metal piece. It's so grungy. It's really heavy actually. I'm not sure where I got this one, but I love it. I love this piece. Ooh. And so inside the pocket that I made out of different scraps, and this is just again cut out from a book, like a stamped picture and a label. This is just a scrap of some beautiful gold and blue trim. And so we have like a cave image. And we also have this from Mary's kit. This is a small journaling card of a bat, so I thought it was kind of fitting together. And it's actually, I printed that one on some linen, like textural paper, to add some interest. And so there's also the other side of this pocket, which also has this tuck here and this one. And so inside another, this one was a random image that I printed a while back, and this one is also from Mary's kit. So that's that. This is from Mary's kit, and so as you can see, I printed that one on some very like some coffee stained paper. I just added some butterflies that I stained as well to make it look a little bit grungier. This is part of this X-ray thing. I had some cutouts and didn't want to throw them away. Some washi, journaling space. Here's just a tuck I made out of this. It's actually stitched. It's this glassine pocket with some photograph negative inside. Just collage this piece here, and then in this tuck there is this illustration. Actually, both sides have illustrations, and just I pinned a few papers together with this Tim Holtz pin. This is part of Mary's kit. I did put some ink stain to grunge it up the paper. Some old random receipt, and this is actually a rose petal dyed doily made by Alessandra. This piece here came in a package that I like an order that I placed a while back from Yuki's shop, along with this beautiful like hand painted, embossed, and then how do you call that? I don't remember, but you can see there's some shimmer. And so all these things come from her shop. This is just a little like crown little thing, a charm that I added. So this goes in here. Here we have this is actually some vintage doily fabric. And so I just cut a piece out of, it was a shirt, I believe. And so we have that piece here. Some German library card that I stained, and I also put some gold leaf. This is actually, I'm just going to remove that for a second. This is actually half piano roll paper and half coffee stain paper. An intricate piece of art that I cut out from a magazine and just created as a tag. This is from Mary's kit, and as I said, I've been playing with black acrylic, so here you can see I've added a lot around and kind of like I used my fingers to do that, so I put some very randomly to give this very grungy look. And on this side we have some messy stitching that was not made on purpose, but I thought I'm just gonna leave that here. It fits well the theme. The other side is the music sheet that I glued on coffee dyed paper. This is just a random little tuck pocket thing, so you can actually, the person who received it, this journal is actually reserved. Don't know if I mentioned that. So the recipient can either leave it as is or glue this down to create a pocket here. And then here on the front we have, where is it? We have a little tuck spot here with this cutout here. Next we have this, this is just some black cardstock, and I stitched this coffee dyed designer paper. This is some antique black lace, and this is a tag from Mary's kit. I just made it as a tuck spot, added some collages and this beautiful antique lace. Again, using some like kind of Dollar Tree hairpin. This one comes from Action. This is our Dollar Tree, I guess. And so this is a petal, like a rose petal dyed card, vocabulary card, and some Tim Holtz photo booth pictures. I don't know how I put that again. I did some messy, like textured paste stenciling here. This is some coffee dyed paper from Red Page Cafe, and you can recognize her papers because they have dots, so it's very nice. Just made some collages. Here's the very pretty pictures of her mom and her daughter, and this is just a playing card, a vintage playing card. This is the other side of the pretty paper. I just added this. This is actually baking paper, and it's the baking paper you use. Well, actually, I use baking paper when I put my when I coffee dyed my papers. So they always have those stains, and this one I created an envelope out of, so you can tuck things inside. There's this very grungy, like this very grungy looking girl, and actually I don't know if you can see, it looks like wallpaper on the back, and then here it's like mud or something. I don't understand where she is, like where she's standing, but it's kind of spooky. It's a very pretty photo postcard. And then my little baggies of found object with a coin, some random bits and pieces, some I really found on the ground. This is a large pocket that I made out of piece of fabric that I purchased from Cassie's Etsy shop. Not Etsy shop, Instagram shop, sorry. I did some gesso on this magazine page because I didn't like the background, didn't fit the theme. This is the envelope from Mary's kit, and I did some gesso on and some collage and put some drops of ink. And inside we have another coffee stained designer paper and some random notes that I received in a bundle of paper, and yeah, a little bit strange. So that goes in here. Here's a little, oh, it's here. I just attached a feather that I found while walking, and I just attached it, like I stitched it to the pocket. Then there is this pocket that I made out of some packaging. I just clipped this hairpin with this little pearl and bead, and then there's a piece of, like a scrap, a little cutout image that I thought was a bit grungy, and then there's just this lace collage down here. Like the two on top and on the bottom are antique lace. And so inside the pocket I put some cutouts from a Barocco design book. So they have very pretty designed. And then there's this stereograph that is kind of funny. I don't know if you can see it well. Yeah, I thought I would add this one. It's kind of odd. Well, it's very strange. and I had another piece, oh yeah, fell down. It's just some washi tape, some very pretty transparent washi tape for you to use in the journal. Some antique encyclopedia page. This is a rose petal dyed tag that Alessandra made and embossed. Some album, like vintage photo album pages, and here's actually a big envelope that I received from Cynthia in a happy mail, and it was completely blank, so I just added this part here with a collage and piece of Mary's kit here, like a paper scrap from one of her page, and just a random collage with some sari trim, some lace, some fabrics. And inside I just added some black and white illustration for you to play around with. It's just some various black and white cutouts from different magazines. And so there's that. Just some random embellishments here and there. Some washi tape. Here is, this is a magazine page, and here this was something I received from a happy mail from Cassie at Dust Roses, and she collaged on, and I actually put some, like I added some pieces on top just to fit the theme. So I added this pretty like dark floral and this scrapbooking piece, and she's the one who added this beautiful like doily or maybe table runner thing, and I added this wool card. What's not? It's sewing thread, I believe, and this die cut. Here there's a tuck spot and some trim, like some scrap from Mary's kit again. I just added this calendar page that I coffee stained to add some journaling space, and I thought the image was kind of like gloomy a little bit. So I just added this here. I stitched some butterflies here and added some little tickets to use in the journal. This is the back of these whole reinforcer. I actually use the back. Once I'm done with the sheet, I use the sheet to collage with. Some coffee dyed paper from Chantal. This is a pocket I made out of a beautiful sari piece. I just added some lace around and added some designer piece that I coffee stained, little stamp washi here, and just some random book page from a French history book. Then I did some edge punching here. There's a little eco-dyed Rolodex card pocket here, made by Pamela at Austin Paper Tree. I just included some die cut to further embellish the journal. And there's some vocabulary card with this beautiful German font, and like Gothic font. And we have some various bits and pieces, an illustration, labels, stamp, die cut, just some small pieces to play around with. The other side of the piano roll paper, I just added this lace on the edge. This is a pocket made out of vintage postcard. I just added some collage pieces here. Some journaling space on this vintage notebook page. This is an antique ephemera paper piece. it's dated from 1861, so it's nice. Here I added a long, I'm not gonna take this off, but this is a long like tip-in with different layers of fabrics, including this gorgeous beaded fabric here. Some random collages. The other side of Mary's printable with this cemetery image. There's some French ephemera here from 1945. So that's clipped on here. And then on Mary's background page, I just added this tip with this beautiful velvety fabric, and I added this little gem here. I don't know if you can see that. And just a collage here, some stamping. The other side of this gorgeous antique French page, and the other side of the telegram. And here's the back. So as you can see, you can, like, it's pretty, the piece of fabric that I placed in between the two cardboards are is pretty large, so you can add more to the pages. That's what I meant. But this is the back, and I used some beaded coaster to create this central embellishment on this belly band. And there's a book plate. Here is one of Mary's background page. I just scrunched it up a little. Some book page, I mean. These are from some of her vintage packs, and I printed them on some textural paper, and the recipient can actually journal on the back and even, you know, take this ribbon out and use it throughout. So yeah, that's it for this journal. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, and I will I'll stop the video now because I don't want it to be too long, and I will see you guys very soon. I would like to make more craft with me sessions. I just need more time because now I've had this weekend sale, so I need to prepare everything, obviously. But once I get more time for myself, I will definitely come back and share more with you. So I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, have a great day, have a great week. Bye, guys.